right, let's get to the action. Let's take a look. Of course, you see on the top there, just to start it off, you see PVH, right? I mean, we've seen that one. We've talked a little bit about that one already today, but there's some other names here, some cheaper names like VKTX. Of course, is a therapeutic stock. Has a high of 1450. We'll look to see if this gets back there. Therapeutic stocks making moves. Definitely look into it. See if there's catalyst related there. Baba showing up. Of course, we're going to keep an eye out on that one. Interesting one here. The love sack. Who has a love sack out there?
I haven't traded that in a long time.
Right? That one's been a while since I've seen it actually pop up. That's not the worst stock. At least it definitely has some chance to move when it gets moving. Para showing up there. Paramount Global getting a nice little upgrade here. And Warner Brothers has been making a nice move as of late too. WBD, just to kind of state that. What do you think about this one? Do you think it can still get a little bit of some Warren Buffett love?
Going back to Para?
Yeah.
I think the upgrade is a catalyst to kickstart it. It has been in consolidation station for a bit. I've been in and out of this thing a couple of times here. It's got good value down here. I won't doubt that. Again, I'm just concerned. This would be on my watch list more than anything. Again, just my overall. I start, when I'm building my long-term portfolio or even my swing trading portfolio, I start with my macro picture. Macro picture is still cloudy, which makes me not buy hardly any stocks at all. Now, and if the macro picture starts to turn, we start to get clarity on the banking situation. We start to get clarity on where the Fed is heading here. We start to get more, inflation ticking down. That makes me more interested in these stocks. But until those things happen, it's hard to just come here and say, yeah, let's buy Para here. It's ready to go.
$22. That's a big level. Someone's boosting it now. 230,000 shares. They got a 22 bid. So that's a move there. If it holds 22 off the open, you can say goodbye to that gap, and you got some another resistance point at 22.30, then closer to 23. But I don't know. I mean, let's see if the kind of a weak tape hold the 22 bid. If not, top of yesterday's range, way down there at 20.98. Who was the analyst that did this?
Let's see right quick. I can take a look there.
This is a big move. I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah, let's see.
It hasn't had a call right now, though.
So
nobody's made a call on it. This is
Bank of America was the one.
Okay. All right.
And Bank of America is influential. I think it just hasn't had anybody make a bold call on it for a bit. It's a good move for the stock, but it's got a higher beta too, so it'll move.
All right.
You got to know when you're doing ratings. I trade ratings all the time. You got to kind of what kind of stock are you trading? Are you trading a high beta name? Because obviously the rating is going to have a lot more influence. 2, who's the analyst that's covering it? Is an analyst that really is well followed in the sector? Is it, what investment firm is it? If it's Goldman Sachs, it's got a lot of weight. If it's some of these smaller, boutique firms, often doesn't have as much weight. So you've got to look at all those factors. And then 3, the technical setup. Is it beat up? Is this a momentum play? Did it just beat earnings and now they're upgrading? Is it chasing one? The contrarian calls, which this would be considered a contrarian call because the stock's in the downtrend, will have more influence than a momentum call. Meaning, like, if you're just upgrading because it just had earnings and it beat, that's just a chasing call. It doesn't have much influence at all. So consider all that stuff when you're trading ratings.
All right, let's keep it going, team. Let's go to here. Let's take a look. MKC, right? We didn't get to talk about it. McCormick getting a nice little uplift today. Adjusted EPS 59-cent, beat the 51-cent estimate. Sales also beating here, 1.57 billion, beat the 1.54 billion estimate. They reaffirmed 23 guidance there and sales growth of 5 to 7%. McCormick here. What do you guys think?
Not chasing it. I'd just be looking for resistance, and your resistant points come in at 78.46. You haven't been up there yet, but now I'll just give you a sell zone, 78.46 to 79.21. If it fades off the open, the top of yesterday's range, that's way down at 74.44. So I'll let you guys finish up. Triple D, I'll check in with you later on. Everyone, have a good day.
Lower beta stock, spice maker. It's consumer staple, really. It's something that's a little more recession proof here.
Spice.
It's not surprising it started to show some life, obviously, as rates have come into here. So I do think stocks like this are looked at, and they're affected. They trade more at the bond market. If you start to see rates start to tick, lower there, it's good for these stocks, and that's what we've kind of seen.
All right. I did want to kind of mention.
Don't think you can get a big move off this.
I'm keeping an eye on this one. Remember, this was the company that was mentioned with the Tesla news. Of course, that was never confirmed. But I'm just keeping an eye on how it's gone sideways since that gap. This gap right here was that Tesla gap mentioned, and then it's just gone sideways there. So this is SGML, Sigma Lithium Corporation. Of course, lithium names could be in play today. Just keeping an eye on it, just because it's kind of like a sideways sleepy chart that hasn't broken down into that gap. Even though, I mean, we haven't really been coming down in these markets, but just something that I'm keeping an eye on.
The rumor was that Elon was going to buy this company.
Mm-hmm.
So this was the rumor that came about a month ago. You can see the gap up in the
right
chart
here.
when it went from 28 to 35 back in February. Nothing has materialized there. I said on the show that day that I think that's possible. It's something that I think Elon is, trying to grow Tesla, trying to obviously do as many things as
he's
he can
considering
to control
it for
the whole
sure.
chain. I think so. I don't think this is just out of the
it.
blue. I don't think this is a made-up rumor. I think this has actually got something behind it. I think the stock holding up as well as it has is telling us that the market thinks that as well. I wouldn't be surprised this company did get bought. I don't follow the company specifically. See. I should clarify. I wouldn't be surprised to see Tesla buy a lithium company. I don't know if it's going to be this one, but I would not surprise me if it is. I would not surprise me. It's not going to be ALB. They're too big. So you think about the smaller ones. SGML probably fits that bill.
I agree. So be careful out there, but we'll see what happens in this one. SGML. All right. The Yang Life, of course, that's bearish. China, so that's not doing well today. So maybe China gets that uplift. Of course, Alibaba helping that out.
Baba.
There.
So
Coin keeps on the decline after that mention, of course, from the Wells notice. We haven't even gotten an update on that, right? And that's where it gets a little bit concerning. Especially as it keeps coming down. How far will it come down, right? This is why I haven't touched Coinbase, and this is why I'm staying way away. Another thing that I saw today, of course, you guys saw yesterday how Bitcoin was getting hit, and this was all after the U.S. officials filed a complaint against crypto exchange Binance for its co-founder. So there could be some more issues in crypto that we still have to go through. I know that we think that the contagion's over from the other ones, but you never know. And this is why I'm staying away from crypto stocks, just because I always think there could be a tape bomb. I'm staying away from these.
Yeah, and I agree. The one thing going for it is if we do have more banking problems, they'll flock to crypto again. So I think that if you get a significant enough pullback, some of these stocks actually might be buys, because I believe it's going to be the banking crisis isn't over. If you believe the banking crisis is over, you've got to sell your crypto stock. So crypto is a bet against the banks right now. That has been playing. I'm kind of betting against the banks, so I actually don't mind crypto on pullbacks.
Last one, just because the chat asked for it, Moderna. Any outlook on that, Dennis?
Again, we talked about it yesterday. I like it long versus BNTX. So I don't want to be flat out long any of these things, because I do believe the COVID jabs, I've already had this conversation, probably a dozen times on the show over the last year. I just think that the market is past, COVID. It doesn't care about it anymore. Yes, the PE looks low, but it is elevated from obviously last year's earnings when everybody's getting the jab. There's a lot less people going to get the jab going forward, which is not good. BNTX, I think, is more directly, impacted because Moderna's starting to branch off into some other things. That's why I like Moderna long, BNTX short. I wouldn't be long either, just on their own.
All right, like always, you guys can check out TradeZero's Zero Pro here. I'm going to throw up the link for you guys. And like always, you guys definitely go ahead and check it out. If you're looking for an extensive inventory of short locates, we got a partnership with TradeZero. Appreciate them like always. Let's get back to the market. Last comment.